Alright guys, let us do another Traphase video. I'm going to go ahead and use this fairly common Helot comp, um, where Helot is your main DPS, but Aurita here is also great at being a sub DPS. She does a lot of damage, as well as puts vulnerable on the enemies. She also inflicts Blighten, which is insane. It dispels all shields and delayed healing on the target. Delayed healing isn't really the big part of this. It's dispelling all shields. So if you're facing an Alva or a caster who has, 40 shields, this literally does 40 damage to them for free, because it just removes the shields. Helot here is here for her giant exalt. So if you have a bunch of strikes, her exalt does a ton of damage. Winkle here is for um, giving enhance to everybody, increasing damage by 25%. The ideal wheel is not by Rose alone. It is Kiss of Repose. Um, Obviously, I don't have Kiss of Repose, so I can't use it. Gain 3 amp, which is just great already. But when the wielder kills an enemy, the overflowing damage transfers to the Awakener behind. And this is huge, because normally that front enemy you've been pinging away all game, it'll be lower than the one behind. And it's possible that the one behind, the difference in health, is enough to kill there. Mountains Resolve, I kind of go back and forth between this. I I don't think this particular comp is the best. Bone Chilling, it increased Arithmetic limit by 1. Winkle here is just for gaining alieness. You want to try to exalt with all 4 of your units as fast as possible. This comp isn't as consistent as the Clem Bleed comp, but it is a good comp. And so we will see if we can find a match, and we'll go from there. Alright, matchmaking for this one is quite a bit longer than the last one, so we are just waiting here until we can find another player. I'll see you when we get an opponent. Oh, and that was basically right after I signed off. So at the very least, you'll be able to see how the comp here is supposed to function, but it's really not fair going up versus somebody who's 3,000 elo lower than me. None of these particular cards are super useful in the early game. When you pick what cards here, you're shuffling them back into your deck, so it's not like they're going to my discard pile. The Rosalona is still in my deck, and so I can get it later here. I don't particularly want to use this right now, but I don't have a lot of good cards in my hand, and I don't want to waste all this Arithmetica. We're just going to go ahead and utilize this. I almost wanted to use this Surging Hatred then, but I am worried that I might have to use a strike later on in the match to get her into a decent spot for Aliamus. I'm really hoping that this gets me a wheel. Or Aurita strikes. Those are actually pretty good here. And right now we're just using our Arithmetica. We could kill this Erica right now, and I think I'm going to. It's a waste of 4 charge, and I won't be able to get 5 charge or even 4 charge before I exalt here. Ugh, that's annoying. It's fine because if I get um, if I get vulnerable on her, the fortress is going to go away, and then I could also vuln again to put the actual vuln on there. But what we are going to do here, I think Aurita is going to die. And so I almost want to exalt here. The Aurita is probably going to die, but I'm not too worried about it. I actually think this is a bot, which is very unfortunate. Well, at the very least, you'll see how big this exalt is about to be. It discards all cards in hand, so I want to be very careful with what cards I'm about to use here. So there's 2 ways of looking at this. I can exalt first, which will clear all these shields, or I can jellyfish here first. I think I want to jellyfish her. Then I will exalt. That removes all the shields. Then I'm going to use Winkle to put vulnerable on here. I can strike here. This will give everybody enhance. I should have done this before I should have done that strike and enhance first. That was a mistake. I can do this for free, basically. This is not going to kill. Oh! The timer counted down. It's not a big deal because it was AI that I was playing against. But that is the basic premise of that comp. You want to build up your Arithmetica as much as possible. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull up the VOD and I'll show you kind of where I messed up at. Okay, here is the VOD. And we were right here on this last turn. So what I should have done here, I should have striked with Nadala before I did anything and used her exalt. Her exalt puts enhance on all your units. Then I should have jellyfished G Ramona, Aurita exalted, Winkle exalted, and then gone from there. Because both Aurita exalt and Winkle exalt would have received the enhanced damage from Nadala. That didn't matter in this particular situation, but you really want to min-max your damage when you're playing a comp like this, where after I did that turn, I would have blown my load, basically, and I would have had no cards left, no Aliamis, and so most likely, if this was a better comp, I would have been dead. And so that is kind of really what you want to do there in the future, is make sure Nadala is your very, very first exalt, if you can make it happen. Which, in this case, I could have made it happen. I was a little bit worried about card hand size, and so like I didn't want to use that strike because I would have gone down a card, but that extra enhance 100% was more worth it than the 1 card size. But thank you guys for watching the Helot Traphase comp. If you have any questions or would like me to try any other future comps, just let me know in the comments. Have a good one, guys.